this way in a long time. Can I tell you a secret? It gets a little crazy in my mind. Crazy, crazy. It gets a little crazy in my mind. Crazy, crazy. Gets a little crazy. It gets a little crazy.
Welcome. Another episode here on smart cities and the Internet of Things, how to leverage data for better services. We're joined by two amazing people here today, Raza and Ali. We're going to dive right into this as we only have 30 minutes. Raza, how did you meet Ali?
Whoa, you got right into it. Okay,
Right in
so
there.
this is amazing because when Ali and I speak and I get to share the stage with this amazing human being, we get to the story about how we met later on. But you know what? Let's just get into it. Ali and I, how did we meet? Well, I was actually in Barcelona, Spain, beautiful Barcelona, and we were launching MetaWorldX, and I ran into a good friend of mine from AWS, and we met at a beautiful booth. The city of Medina had this 3D model there, and I was just like mesmerized with it. And I got to run into my friend from AWS, who we were in contact a few times last year. He knew what I've been doing in the digital world from my past, but when he saw what we're building here at MetaWorldX, he's like, "Come with me." And that's where he took me to the AWS booth there, and he introduced me to Mr. Ali Benfatoum. And when I showed him what we're building, what our vision is, what we've done in the past, he was he was just like, he's like, all right, man. He's like, this is amazing. The next few days, that was the first day of the World Smart City Congress in Barcelona. The next few days, every time we'd see each other, we'd be like updating each other on, okay, like, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? How we can work together? Who needs it? Uh, where we see this technology, this combination of what we've been building together can go. And let me just let everybody that's watching right now give you a disclaimer. What he's done and what he has been working on, what he's been building. Yes, the timing is amazing for us at MetaWorldX, but it's nothing short of remarkable, and I'm just really, really happy to have him as someone that I look up to and as a friend as well.
And we're looking at some beautiful pictures of both of you guys as you're sort of enjoying the world. And Ali, I want to jump right into this. You're an evangelist, and just for the crowd out there that's watching, define smart cities and how it relates to the Internet of Things.
Yeah, that's actually a
It's a
very good
loaded question,
question.
I know.
Yeah, but I have a very simple definition. For me, a smart city or a smart territory is a city or a territory in which you have some decision maker that take informed decisions. That's it. That improve with the outcome to improve the life of residents, optimize the resources. That's for me what is a smart city. It's not about having technology everywhere. If there is no this outcome of improving the life of citizens, it's not a smart city. The fact is, to come to the IoT side of it, to take informed decisions, you need some information. You need insights, and insights come from data. And IoT is one of the main provider of this data and of this information. That's why IoT is important when it comes to smart cities. But you can be smart beyond IoT. And so IoT is a way to collect data, to measure things, and to understand how what's happening in your city, and also iterate, take some decisions, measure these decisions, see the impact of these decisions, and then correct or improve. That's kind of iteration process.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a great quote by the CEO of Salesforce: every physical object connected to the internet can become a doorway to new services and
Yeah.
efficiencies. And that's going to lead right into Raza with some of the amazing things you're doing at MetaWorldX. How can IoT technology be leveraged to improve city services such as transportation, waste management, energy efficiency? What are cities doing around the world?
Yeah, so our cities, as we speak, are getting smarter and smarter, not just with the advancements in technology, but the when you give them the ability to collect data and gather insights, it can increase efficiencies, it can reduce redundancies, and save costs. In a world where it's very important for us to look at cost saving measures from a municipal perspective, the, we have the ability to bring these technologies together so that when we're sitting with the city, or we're sitting with the project manager, we look at their pain points. What are you measuring? What benefits are you getting from that, and how it can effectively increase the quality of life for their citizens? So the whole purpose of bringing data to life is how it can benefit decision making, and in essence benefit quality of life for the citizens in these cities.
And from an AWS standpoint, Ali, what are you seeing around the world? I mean, your pulse is right into the ground there. You're witnessing things in real life happening, and I know the definition of smart city is changing every moment. But what are you seeing as you travel? And I think you're in where? You're in Paris today?
Yeah.
You're in Paris. So what are you seeing, and how IoT how it's being leveraged around the world as well?
Yeah, so you often see the main, I would say, the top 5 use cases like waste management, air quality monitoring, traffic monitoring, all these use cases that are kind of the foundations of what we call smart cities. But then, depending the cities, you can see some specific use cases depending the weather, depending the condition of some territories. If they are, for example, near the sea, if it's an island, you have some specific use cases. But I like to say that the foundations are important. And once you have this foundation set right, then the use cases is about collecting, measuring the data you need to take these decisions again. And speaking of use cases, and to go back to this this story of how we met in Barcelona, this was actually with a use case of air quality. So we worked with a company called Libelium. It's an IoT company. And so they deployed an air quality solution in Cartagena in Spain. And so for the Smart City World Congress, we built an integration with them on top of the Smart Territory framework, which is an open source framework that we designed to help our customers aggregate all these data, IoT, but also other source of data, and to extract insights from this data. And so we did this integration during for the Smart City World Congress. And then I met Raza, and he showed me this visualization, this 3D visualization. I said, yeah, it's great, because from a data layer perspective, with the Smart Territory framework, we bring this this tool to easily link data together, easily see patterns in data. But without this kind of visualization, it's hard to see, because if I mentioned different use cases, but a city is a holistic. You need to see the city with a holistic approach, because if you only, for example, want to build a solution for air quality without taking into account the traffic, then you miss the point, because it's interconnected. Traffic is connected with air quality. Waste management is connected with traffic. So you need to have this holistic view. And what I love with this solution is that it helps you visualize this holistic view of your city, because in one view you can see the traffic, you can see the air quality, you can see everything, and you can relate together. And that's where you're smart. It's not about measuring only one use case and only looking at this with its own interface. It's about looking at how things work together. And when you take a decision, what is the impact of this decision holistically? Because it's like, this game, the Rubik's Cube, you change one face, but actually you make it worse for the other faces. Yeah. So that's exactly the same with smart cities. You need to look at all the faces of the cube and make it the best shape possible.
Yeah, and Raza, I mean, I know a lot of the things that you're doing with MetaWorldX, and the eyes are the gateway to the soul, right? The eyes are one of the primary organs responsible for visual information about the world around us, right? We're able to see colors and shapes and distances and motion, and now if you look at data and you're just seeing a bunch of numbers, you're seeing it, but you're not able to, exactly what you said with that Rubik's Cube, really understand it from a 5D dimension. So Raza, as you're building out these digital twins and you're implementing these IoT devices for the purpose of a city like Cartagena, for example, wanting to understand carbon monoxide in the air, guide us through that process. How do you go through that, and how you build that and get to that point?
Yeah, so essentially we start with the environment. So if it's an existing environment, like a city that already exists, like in this case it was in Spain, that city already exists. We have to make sure that we have the right 3D models for it. Are the buildings going to be geotypical or geospecific? What do we need to show? How large is that area? So we start with that. Then we're working
And
up.
just, we got something on the screen here. That's sort of like the terrain and the buildings and the infrastructure. Is that what we're really talking about?
Exactly. So you start with the topography, like the land itself, and you want to make sure that it's as accurate as possible because it's the elevations in the land that really make a difference. And when you're starting to put in data in there, it's very important because the data is affected by the geolocation of where these sensors are and where they sit within a city's framework as well.
Interesting.
So
And then we're looking here, we see mobility, and then we see the digital layer, smart city, and then we see the virtual layer, the digital twin, and we see data and information. And you touched on it right now, but can you expand a little bit more about that data and information with that virtual layer and digital layer?
Yep. So now when you're getting to the environment, so if it's an existing city or an airport or a seaport or something that's even in the future, you want to be able to mimic the real world environment as much as possible. So when you get into the environment, you see the actual real time weather, the real time environment. It's very important for that data to come in. And then with our partners, we have the ability to make that data as deep as possible, meaning there could be historical data that's in there, there could be live data, and if there's simulation data that we code into there as well, you could visually see that. But now in the case of cities where they need to make decisions, it's very important for them to start seeing patterns. And visually, these patterns are much more, they're comprehensible when you're looking at it from a visual standpoint. So, like you said, these CSV files, when it's all qualitative data, when you bring it into a visualization platform, you can start seeing patterns. For example, at 5 a.m. when it's rush hour in a city like Cartagena, that's when you see the carbon emissions going up. And then as people are on weekends, for example, you start seeing them getting lower. And if there's a football game going on in this part of the city, you could see certain particle matter or certain emissions related to that going up. So you start seeing these patterns, and it's such a beautiful way. It's the blueprint of a city, it's a footprint of a city, and now you're starting to see data working with other data, and then you can start making actual insights and decisions based on that data information.
And I'm going to switch gear to, thank you for this. That was very helpful to myself and the viewers as well. I'm going to switch over to Ali. I'm going to move into a little bit of overdrive here because we only have about 15, 20 minutes left. Ali, a very fascinating quote to me on patterns is pattern repeat themselves in history. And you have the opportunity being at the ground zero in terms of seeing use cases with cities that have looked at these patterns and what advancements have they made, what kind of positive results have come up. I don't know if you can share a few use cases from the past or currently that you're working on, even if they're fictitious. If you can just sort of tell us about those patterns and how cities have improved from looking at those patterns through digital twins.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, to predict, to simulate things, you need to understand what happens in the past. And so often when we talk with customers, they drop the AI/ML discussion, but they don't have the data yet. So I always say first get the data, understand, because simple visualization gives you a good way to understand a few patterns. I have a good example. We worked with the city of Heidelberg in Germany. And so they have some camera measuring the speed of cars. And so just by getting this data, pushing it into the smart territory framework with a simple visualization in a map to see the speed of cars over time, you can see in a day, for example, a max speed of 100 kilometers per hour, a minimum speed 15 kilometers per hour. And if the limit speed is 50 kilometers per hour, then that raises a question. And if it's near, for example, a school, then another question. And then you can take some simple decisions by saying, okay, maybe I should put a bump here. And once you put the bump, then you can see in 15 minutes time, you can see the results. And then once you have enough data over time, you can say, oh, now I know in the winter when there is this specific weather, I know what the traffic is. And let's say I want to close that road, or I want to open a new road, or I want to convert that street from a one-way to a two-way street, or vice versa. What's going to happen? And so you can simulate things. And that's where this is very powerful also in terms of visualization, because you can see it and then experiment it. Let's say you do this change for a month, and then you see what you simulated, what are the results, and then you can improve your model over time. And that's where you become really smart, right? So you can.
And what Ali's talking about, absolutely. So he's what he's really honing into here is deriving information such as traffic flows. But as you're seeing the traffic flow being impacted, now you're starting to get all this other data, reduction of greenhouse gas emissions because this road has been closed. Now we can take tangible data back and be like, okay, this is what our city is doing in order to fight climate change, and especially with ESG initiatives and reducing our carbon footprint, it's becoming imperative to have this kind of information around energy consumption, air quality, so that you could test out these different interventions to see what actual impact they will have on a city before you actually go and take these initiatives. So you're bringing quality out of it, and you're adding more quality because you can make better decisions.
And we're talking IoT and smart cities, and you brought up ESG, a buzzword that is very powerful right now. It's funny. The other day I was at a local. It's called the Home Depot here, Ali, which is your shop, and I went in there looking for a barbecue, and it had a little section in the bottom there, carbon footprint. Basically saying if I buy this barbecue versus this barbecue, the types of, I guess maybe the type of steak I'm cooking it doesn't like. But jokes aside, talking about ESG, Raza, and I want to get Ali's thoughts on this as well, is how are really asset managements and buildings utilizing at a micro level the IoT devices, meaning the HVAC of the system, the lights, etc., and looking at that data and understanding how that impacts financially, how that impacts the world from a carbon emission standpoint. Can you talk a little bit about that, Raza, for a moment?
Well, yeah. So what we're actually at a very interesting turning point right now in the world, where big institutions that hold large assets, so buildings over large areas, multiple buildings, different classes of buildings, they're starting to look at this as a threat or an opportunity, because with carbon credits becoming more of a topic here in North America, it's important for companies to be able to leverage this information, to be able to hedge, to be able to take advantage of the carbon credits out there. Now it's about tangible proof. How can we actually calculate our carbon footprint within these buildings? There's data about the efficiencies of HVAC units. There's data about the efficiencies of installing better sinks in the kitchen or in the bathroom. But bringing all of that together, we can give scores. When you can actually put a tangible number against all of this, now we're talking about bringing information to the forefront. There are companies out there that do calculate, the carbon footprint of companies, and those companies, benefit a lot from credits and tax credits from taking these measures, from taking these sustainable measures and using the right tools. What we have the ability to do is take that data, bring it to life, so that visually an asset manager can see it. They're working with the institutions are working with the banks are working with the landlords, and the landlords are working with their tenants. They have a win-win scenario now all across the board, because everybody can benefit from taking initiatives towards a better and cleaner earth.
And Ali, just switching over to you, because you're seeing these IoT devices at a cutting speed of growth and different types. I mean, I know you have Amazon has just announced not too long ago the sidewalk, basically. And if you have the time to discuss what that's all about, but can you talk about some of the up and coming IoT devices that are out there that are really changing the world and the way we look at data and the way we consume data?
Yeah, back to the sustainability topic. It doesn't need to be complex, right? I have an example with the city of Drancy, which is in the suburb of Paris. So they deployed, I think it was 2 years ago, a solution to air quality monitoring in schools to reduce the spread of COVID-19. So simple sensors measuring temperature, humidity, CO2 level, and so on. And so they deployed this. So the main use case was reducing the spread of COVID-19, have a healthy learning environment for kids. And what they realized is that they could also use the same data for improving the efficiency of the building, because they realized that they could detect kind of early when a window is left open during the weekend and someone to close it. Because in the past, without this data, they had to wait in the morning, kids freezing, it's cold, they hit the building for nothing. And now they can just, with few sensors, prevent this to happen. And this is actually a good way to explain what is sidewalk, because the technology they used in Drancy is called LoRaWAN, which is an IoT network for battery assisted devices. And sidewalk is similar to LoRaWAN. It's actually used the same radio frequency technology, but let's not go into the technical details. But this is a protocol that connect devices that are battery operated, that is low power, long range. So you can basically have a network of billion of sensors in a city, all connected to this sidewalk network, and you can have more way to collect data. So that's amazing, because more connectivity options we have, more way of measuring things we have, is more insights we can get at the end if of course we can visualize them in an effective way.
Yeah, no, and well, Raza, we have visualization with MetaWorldX and what some of the great things you're doing. One of the things that we showed to the viewers a couple of weeks ago was the city of Toronto, and we had built out the city of Toronto. And one of the things, Raza, we showed, and we're showing it on the screen right now, are the IoT devices when it comes to air quality. Can you just quickly talk about how air quality, exactly using IoT devices from an air quality standpoint, can help benefit the citizens that have concerns around security and privacy, et cetera? And I want to jump into that in a few seconds, but can you just talk about what we're seeing on the screen right now, which is some of the air quality from the city of Toronto?
Absolutely. So what the viewers are seeing right now is on a macro level. It's a city scale digital twin that they're seeing. So air quality has a direct effect for all the citizens of a city, because we're walking around, we're driving around, and we're measuring different information coming in through the STF framework. There's carbon emissions, and it's live. So when you go into the environment, those are the actual emissions at that moment in time, and you can see it at different times as well. There's humidity levels, ground temperature, and ground temperature is different in different parts of the city. So there's tons of data around air quality, and I wanted to take this opportunity to talk on the micro level as well. So inside the buildings, so air quality, it also affects us and our breathing inside the buildings as well. So there's IoT devices that measure multiple parameters, just like Ali was talking about. So one device can measure, 5, 7, 8, 10 different parameters. For example, occupancy, air quality inside, temperature inside, humidity levels inside. This type of information gets fed from these IoT devices into a digital twin, like of a building within a city, like what you would see, like what you're seeing in front of you. But there's a huge learning process from this. It's not just the data that we're collecting to increase efficiencies, lower cost, and reduce our carbon footprint. It's also an opportunity for us to teach, like a project that comes to mind in Pennsylvania, where the school district is going to be installing 250 of these IoT sensors. They're going to be able to use this as also a visualization platform to teach the students about the power of being able to visually understand and see and measure air quality inside of the schools where these kids actually attend. So they're going to see a digital twin of the environment that they're in, and parameters that can actually help increase the sustainability and the quality of life for the people that are within these buildings. So there's so much that you could do with IoT sensors right now. We use it at home. Today, people control their thermostats from their phone. They can, press a button and see their security cameras, right? And 10, 15 years ago, this would have sounded like so out there and sci-fi, but it's just getting easier for us to be able to get information and control things from a central dashboard. And that's exactly what we're doing here. We bring the best IoT device information through the Smart Territory Framework right into these digital twins of these environments that you're seeing in front of you.
And speaking of privacy, you brought up and Internet of Things. Um, I'd love to hear, Ali, your thoughts on privacy and IoT when it comes to, simple things like Alexa and et cetera, that AWS has. Just some thoughts on that for the viewers, because I know there's a lot of people that are asking these sort of questions, right? Yes, the IoT is really the nervous system of a city. It has everything in it, but if we're all connected, how much privacy do I have? So what is Amazon doing about this, or AWS doing about this?
So AWS, from AWS IoT perspective, security is job zero. So when I say when a solution is well designed, security is job zero. So you start with security.
Amazing.
And so it's always I would say, the core priority when you design a solution, because like you said, there are many ways of collecting data, and you want to make sure when you collect this kind of data, maybe for air quality is not an issue, but for more sensitive data, you need to make sure that you have the highest security layers that are in your solution. So I won't go deep into the details, but if you take any, for example, let's say data producer, any source of data we used, for example, in these demos, or we use with customers when it comes to Smart Territory Framework, they are secured from the end to end, and so you have also the flexibility to decide where the data will be stored, who will have access to the data. So it's always a matter of design, right? So we provide the tool to secure your devices, secure your solutions, and then it's up to the customers and partners implementing to make sure that the safeguards are kind of in place.
Yeah, I mean, from who is it, Dirk? I don't know how to pronounce his last name properly, so I don't want to mess it up. Vice President of IoT, AWS. He says security is our top priority, and it's the core of everything we do in IoT. And I know firsthand the type of security, robust security measures that AWS has implemented with data and networks and from potential threats, et cetera. So it is a continuous conversation. It'll continue to happen as we bring in new IoT devices. I don't know if you guys, if we all remember the times when you would plug in an IoT device and the password used to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we've come a long way from that password to where we're at, just simple things like password hygiene. Switching gears now, and we have a few minutes left. Raza, what is new and exciting coming up when it comes to IoT devices and MetaWorldX and what's coming down the pipeline?
Yeah, it's amazing because when Ali and I were in Florida just a couple of weeks ago, we were enjoying the sun there, and we had the opportunity to speak at LoRaWAN. It was an amazing chance for us to really listen to the top IoT innovators, to the top IoT companies, not just from the United States. Ali, there were companies there from Europe, from Brazil.
Yeah, it's worldwide.
It's worldwide, and some of them obviously you can use LoRaWAN or you could use 4G to get this information. And LoRaWAN really has set the standard, and and when it comes to innovation and deployments of these of the information that comes out of the sensors, I think that you're going to see a lot more integration of IoT sensors. Everybody needs it, whether it's a hotel, whether it's an airport, whether it's a house. Everybody's using it. Digital twins, especially when there's large assets at play here, or something that you want to build in the future, you want to be able to visualize it. But bringing the IoT information into a digital twin, that just changes the whole ball game. And now you're talking about bringing these applications to life. So these are 5D applications, meaning you have the ability not just to look at the time of day or the weather, but you're getting live insights of data that actually can help you, reduce reduced inefficiencies within managing your infrastructure. So when it comes to critical infrastructure, IoT, smart cities, the metaverse, we're at a crossroad, and we're just really, really excited. These partnerships that we have with these large companies, they help tech startups And for tech companies out there, my advice to you is take advantage of these relationships. There's large companies out there that have so much information, so much data. They want to help. Reach out to them, find ways to work together, because the future is exciting, but it requires an ecosystem of collaboration, just like
Wow.
what you see here.
Amazing, amazing. Ali, for you, I mean, I know Paris and Europe, but what's down the pipeline? What are some of the exciting things that you're doing, and how could people? I know people they can follow you on LinkedIn, etc. But what are some amazing things that are coming down the pipeline
So amazing things I can share.
that
So
you're allowed to share?
yeah, I mean, we will continue, of course, to work with MetaWorldX, and I think we only touched the surface of what we can do, because you showed air quality, but actually even water management. Detect a leak, you can use sensors for that. You can see it, you can interact with the twin, you can play some scenario simulation, and this is exactly the example I gave about let's close this road, see what happened. On there is this event next week. We expect 400,000 people. What's going to happen? How people will go through the metro? How will they go through the road and everything? You can simulate all these things, and I'm very excited with this, because IoT can feed this model. And the idea is to get as much as data as possible and help our customers to improve the efficiency of their buildings, of their cities, of their water, of anything they can improve. So that's the most exciting things. And of course, you mentioned it, there are new services, connectivities like Sidewalk. And so the idea is to leverage all these capabilities to provide more solutions to our customers.
Yeah, no, so solving a Rubik's Cube is a partnership between your hands and your brain. And today has been one of those very interesting, powerful discussions on IoT and what the world has to offer. It's funny, it's not funny, it's actually, it's funny in terms of it's amazing to see. When I was watching Reza on a call not too long ago, a couple of days ago, where he was talking to a city about natural disasters and earthquakes, and predictability of those earthquakes. And in addition to that, what could happen if this was the epicenter? What would happen exactly? You said, from a traffic standpoint, from a critical infrastructure standpoint, from a food supply standpoint, from I mean, he just went on, and I was just sitting there watching, perfection at its finest. So I want to thank you both for spending your time and educating us all on IoT devices and smart cities. Again, for the viewers, you can follow Reza on LinkedIn and follow around. He's traveling around the world. He's some exciting pictures and food pictures. And Ali as well. And you can catch them together. Sometimes Ali has a beard, and sometimes Reza doesn't have a beard, and it's vice versa.
We switch.
I don't know what they're doing. They're playing some sort of trick.
That's a challenge, right?
What
It
is
a
that all
challenge.
about? By the way, very quickly, I gotta ask, what is that all about? Do you guys share or what?
Yeah, he inspired me actually. I saw him 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was, I
in
think 2 weeks ago in
Orlando.
Orlando. Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked like he was
And
5
he
years
shaved and
old.
say, yeah, I'll do the same.
So it's funny because when Ali saw me and I shaved my beard in Orlando, he's like,
I didn't even recognize you.
Yeah, exactly. And then I saw Ali now, and he shaved his beard. So yeah, we keep passing the torch, and who knows? Next time we see each other, which is going to be in a month or two.
Mehdi, you are the next.
Yeah. I'm Mehdi. You have to.
My
join us.
wife and family would kill me. But no, and I look forward to, and it would be great to maybe have you guys live. Where are you guys next together?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
We'll
Okay.
see.
Well,
Maybe Tokyo. We'll see.
maybe
Yeah,
Tokyo.
maybe Tokyo. Yes.
That would be
Yeah.
really cool. It would be nice
So
to have you
Raza
both.
will be in Paris for Vivatech, I think, if it's confirmed already.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I don't think I will be there.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We'll
He'll
see.
be
Maybe
close.
Paris.
You'll be close to me. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
going to be on the same continent. So
Well,
who knows?
We'll make sure we take your shaving cream and blades away, and we will see you hopefully in Tokyo, and we'll have you maybe live
Listen,
to air
I don't
from
mind.
Tokyo.
I don't mind Ali shaving his beard, but as long as he keeps his hair, that we cannot touch that hair, guys. It's very special.
Sounds good. We'll definitely find out what kind of shampoo he uses. And for the viewers out there, thank you for tuning in. It was a pleasure. It was an honor to have both of these two. There's so much to scrape. We just touched like 0.01% off the top. We will continue to provide more information. We look forward to having Ali back again. Thank you for your partnership on behalf of MetaWorldX. Thank you to all the viewers for watching, and have yourself a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are from around the world. Thank you.